All right, let's talk about a piece of technology that chances are you've used today without even realizing it. We're going to do a deep dive into Amazon DynamoDB, this unseen engine that powers a huge chunk of the cloud.
So to really get a feel for what we're talking about, let's start with a question. Just think about the sheer mind-boggling scale of Amazon on a day like Prime Day. What kind of database can actually handle that flood of traffic without breaking a sweat?
And you know, it's not just about e-commerce. Think about millions of us hitting play on the latest blockbuster on Disney Plus at the exact same time. Well, the answer to handling both of these massive scenarios is a really powerful serverless database that completely changed the game.
So at its heart, DynamoDB is what's called a high-performance NoSQL database. All that really means is it doesn't use the traditional rigid table structure you might be used to, which gives it incredible flexibility. It was built by Amazon, specifically for the cloud, and it has become the invisible workhorse behind some of the biggest apps used every single day.
Okay, so let's get into its origin story, because it all starts with a problem that every retailer both dreams of and, well, fears. Just getting crushed by holiday traffic. This wasn't just some academic project, it was literally forged in the fire of the world's biggest shopping events. See, to handle their insane peak shopping seasons, Amazon's engineers had to build their own internal system, and they called it Dynamo. The ideas behind it were so powerful, so groundbreaking, that they published a paper about it back in 2007, and that paper, it laid the groundwork for a whole new generation of databases. Then, 5 years later, they unleashed it to the world as DynamoDB. Now, the secret sauce that made all this possible is a concept called eventual consistency. The best way to think about it is like sending a group text, right? Not everyone gets the message at the exact same millisecond, but you trust that eventually everyone will get the same message. DynamoDB chooses that incredible speed and availability over making sure every single copy of the data is perfectly in sync at all times. It's a brilliant trade-off.
So, let's look at the architecture. How do these ideas build up into a database that's truly born and bred for the cloud? This is where they took those original concepts from that Dynamo paper and turned them into a service that you or I could actually use.
So here are its core traits. First, it's serverless, which is huge. It just means developers don't have to think about managing servers at all. It stores data in this super flexible key-value format. Think of a giant searchable dictionary. And most importantly, it's designed from the ground up to be spread all across the globe for just incredible reliability.
And the result of all that? Just pure, unadulterated speed. We are talking about performance measured in single-digit milliseconds. That's faster than you can blink, whether you've got 1 user or 10 million users hitting it at the same time. That's the magic of this design.
It also comes packed with all these goodies for developers. You've got global tables, which let you copy your data across the world with literally just a click. You have streams, so your app can react to changes as they happen, in real time. There's even a caching layer called DAX for ridiculously fast reads. And of course, it plugs in perfectly with other AWS services, making it the real backbone for modern serverless apps.
So, with all this horsepower, what are people actually building with it? Well, the answer is pretty much anything that needs to be fast, super reliable, and able to scale to the moon. The applications are everywhere you look. It's the perfect fit for that shopping cart holding your items or the real-time leaderboard in your favorite mobile game. It's amazing for handling a massive flood of data from thousands of smart devices. Its speed just makes it a total natural for these kinds of jobs. And look, this isn't just for side projects. It is battle-tested and totally trusted by some of the biggest names in tech and media on the entire planet. When you have to operate at a global scale with millions of users, this is the kind of tool you reach for.
Okay, this brings us to its biggest competitive advantage. This is the thing that really makes it stand out in a pretty crowded field. It's not just about the tech itself, but the whole philosophy behind it.
So if you put it side by side with competitors, say Google's Firestore or Microsoft's Cosmos DB, the key difference maker for DynamoDB is this zero-ops model. What does that mean? It means there are no servers to patch, no capacity planning to stress over, no complex configs to tune. It just scales, all on its own, and its integration inside the AWS world is completely seamless.
So at the end of the day, what this means for teams building on AWS is that simplicity and performance are just baked right in. You get to pour all your energy into building your app, not babysitting a database. It just works.
And all of this leads to one final big question. As our apps create more and more and more data, and the demand for performance and reliability just keeps growing, does this hands-off, zero operations model just become the default?
Is this the future for how we're all going to manage data at scale? It's definitely something to think about.